Well, the day has come. I screwed the pooch royally. We got a 2002 Ford Explorer right here. We've been doing a massive mechanical restoration on this. Normally, this is where I would insert the moment of shameless self-promotion and refer you to the previous videos, but I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to see that. Because what had happened is I was 3 videos into a complete timing system repair on this particular truck, and I shot about 4 hours of reassembly the other day and ended up having a corrupted SD card in my my GoPro, and I only ended up with about 15 minutes of footage, and about 4 of those minutes is footage that had audio. So I basically lost all of the conclusionary footage. I don't even know if that's a real word. Conclusionary? Is that a real word? What do you guys think? Is conclusionary a real word?
Yeah.
Is it?
So.
Troy thinks so. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Well, anyway, what had happened is I got finished the other day and I was all done and I was super proud of myself, and I had what I thought was one of the best timing chain videos ever created on this 4.6 liter, and it was all ruined. I get home and all the footage was gone. There was nothing. So it broke my heart because I had a good video. I'm talking, I had high speed with the sandblaster going. I had all kinds of torque wrenches. I even put little microphones down on the torque wrench so you guys could get the gravity of the clicks. See what I did there? And I lost all of it. In fact, I think I spent more effort on the filming of that job than I did actually doing the job. And it's all ruined except for the fact that the truck is now in fantastic condition. So here's not even the first start. I deprived you guys of the first start too, because this is over on the alignment rack. Here's the first start, check it out. Like a glove. That does not apply, because like a glove is not the actual phrase for this thing starting. But yeah, I got her back together. She's running, purring like a kitten, no leaks, the thing's fantastic. But I lost all the footage on it, so I have nothing to say except I'm sorry, and we have to pick this up and just start over and move on with life. Sometimes we got to take our L's. And on this video, or on this project, or on this truck, I'm definitely taking the L, because you know, it wouldn't have been so bad if it had failed at like the beginning and I didn't have like a whole series of videos on this repair sequence. But it happened at the very end, and it happened so catastrophically there was no recovering it. I even thought to myself, maybe I'll try to take the footage that I got and just do some voiceovers on it, and that didn't work. It just wasn't working, because a lot of the footage on that reassembly was still, meaning I wasn't moving the camera around, so all we were looking at was just some timing component stuff. And we missed out on all the dialogue and all the click noises and all the cool stuff and the technical explanations that I went into when I was putting that thing back together. All of that disappeared. And so now we're starting over, I guess. So I've got the alignment done on this. It's been out for a test drive. We did the fluid maintenances on it. It has engine oil in it. Did the transmission fluid, brake fluid, and some service brakes. I think I have one more thing to do, and that's going to be a hub bearing assembly for the right rear. We went out and drove it around and found it's got like this real loud helicopter noise, and that's not really ideal considering the amount of effort we put into getting this truck up to a reliable mechanical condition. So I will offer you penance on the rear wheel bearing job if the customer wants me to go ahead and do that. So I will try to make one final video on this truck, but like I said, I really did mess up pretty royally. So here's what we're gonna do. Since I have no more filming opportunity at this current point in time on this Ford, I'm gonna go ahead and back it out. I know I said I was gonna do the wheel alignment on it, but that was supposed to be like a bonus to the primary feature. And since I ruined the primary feature so catastrophically, I didn't feel like going for extra credit once you've already failed was gonna be a good use of my efforts. So I decided to put the past behind me. I plowed through it with Dave. We got this thing knocked out this morning, did the alignment on it, did the test drives, did the fluid services. So what I'm gonna do on this video, since I have been disappeared all weekend and nobody has heard from me. There's been no filming because realistically I lost more than just the Ford Explorer video on the GoPro. So I've been without nothing, and we did not work on Monday because Monday was Memorial Day, and I do not believe in engaging on commerce during memorial service, and Memorial Day is a nationwide memorial service for all of our fallen military who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Therefore, I did not make a video, I didn't go to work, I did not fix cars, I did not go grocery shopping, I did not burn any gas money. I sat at home and did absolutely nothing on that particular day because, like I said, I don't engage in commerce during those types of days. It really kind of grinds my gears to watch corporate America hone in and oh, happy Memorial Day sale or happy Veterans Day sale. No, stop that. It is not your job to capitalize and turn a profit on that type of day. That's not a day of partying or holidays or sales or super awesome deals. That's not what that's for. And by offering those things, I believe that you're taking away the magnitude and the gravity of that particular type of day. So I do what I can do to not engage in that same behavior. So I was a ghost on Monday. I was a ghost, super ghost. So because of that, it put me another day behind on my recovery from my filming snafu that had occurred previously in the week. So that being said, I hope you guys can accept my explanation and apology for the situation at hand. Now what we're going to do, since I've sort of recovered here in real life, is we're going to try to recover this flow of vlogging and videos. So it's kind of in today. It's actually right on 5 o'clock, and I should be going home right about now. But I have not been working for 4 days, and you guys have been wondering where I've been for 4 days. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna blindly go fetch the keys for that Nissan Xterra over there. We're gonna bring that in the shop, and we're gonna go over the laundry list of stuff that the customers want looked at. We're gonna give it a good visual inspection, powering down, and we're gonna see if there's a path to repair on that guy. I've got another one too. There's this F-250 over there. They said they found metal somewhere in one of the fluids, whether it's oil or fuel or something like that. It's a no crank, no start. It doesn't start. It did crank, but the batteries are so dead in it, it stopped cranking. So now it's turned from a crank, no start into a no crank, no start. So we'll deal with that thing later on. Yes, I will make a video on how much money we can get for this entire trailer full of scrap metal, but I'm gonna need to find the time probably next week to haul this stuff down there. This week's a no good. I got a bunch of appointments and I got to get some of these cars finished up and at least diagnosed or whatever. So we got to get back on schedule after the delay in my filming schedule, and that was my fault. Like, I'm not blaming anybody except for the camera and the audio equipment, but that is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna hop inside this Xterra. I'm gonna bring it in the shop. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna give it a good looky-loo, and that's how this is gonna be. So stay tuned because I'm gonna try to save my YouTube channel. All right, okay. Let's climb on in this unit right here and see what we've got to be working with. I've got a laundry list with me. Starting the engine. We have, looks like 213,158 miles on the odometer. Looks like you got a check engine light on. It's got a low tire light on. It's got an airbag light flashing. Seatbelt warning. What else is going on here? Yeah, that's about it so far. But I do have a nice little laundry list right here of things to take a look at. So the light is stating we have an ABS light on. I guess that's not on yet. That'll probably come on when we drive it. So ABS light on, loose steering. They smell antifreeze. They need overall inspection. Install amps and cameras if possible. There we go. Amps and cameras. I guess there's some audio equipment back there. Yeah, there's an amp right there. Okay. Amps and cameras. Let's see, the hood is loose. It needs bolted down. Okay. The crankshaft pulley case bolt is wrong and stripped out. That sounds serious. Crankshaft pulley case bolt. I didn't know the crankshaft pulley cases had bolts, but well, we will see. And there's a starting issue. That's what they said on my list of concerns right here. So well, we started it and it started. Let's unstart it. Restart it. Nah, it's starting. Okay, I'll have to get some more information on that. So I'll tell you what, it smells like antifreeze, so I guess there's antifreeze leaking out of it. Stop doing that. I want to drive it a little bit, see if we can at least get that ABS light to come on, but I don't want to drive it a lot of bit, because if it's leaking coolant, it could overheat, because it's about 96 degrees today here in sunny Florida, and that's a little warm. It was like 89 in the shop with the AC running today. That was a little hot. So anyway, let's roll this thing around some, see if we can't get the ABS light to come on, and then we'll go ahead and perform our inspection. All right, so with regards to that ABS light, typically once you start driving and the ECU sees a discrepancy in wheel speeds, that's when it'll reset that ABS code, and the light will kick back on. I believe that the programming logic is there that the ABS light will shut down after every vehicle shutdown, because some of those could be triggered due to an actual wheel slip event. Like, let's say you're in a mud hole and you're trying to drive out of it and you got one wheel spinning, one wheel not spinning. Well, that scenario can cause an implausible or incorrect wheel speed feedback signal to the controller, and the controller would set the code indicating that it recognized that there was a differential in the wheel speeds. Does that make sense? Good. So when they shut it off, then it goes, hey, well, we are not slipping our wheels anymore, so let's just go ahead and turn that code off. It'll store the DTC as an event in the controller, but it may not indicate that the light be turned on because it's a one-trip light. Now, vehicles that have like system failures or module problems or programming issues or open circuits or whatever, those will give you the wheel speed sensor indicator at all times. This one still has yet to do the thing, so we don't have a light. What we do have is a wheel alignment problem though, because this should be pointed like this, not over there like that. Yeah, we're going in a straight line, and yeah, we definitely have a wheel alignment issue. So I'll add that to the list of things that I have noticed on my inspection. I did notice a Culver's box in the road that I ran over. Anyway, we're running and driving okay. It's reached operating temperature, so let's bring it back to the shop. We'll stick it on the lift and then take a looky-loo around and see if we have any visual defects that need to be addressed. But anyway, while we're on the subject of talkie-talkie, I was reading some comments. You guys were talking to me in the comment section. I actually do read those. I know a lot of folks don't read and reply, and no, I don't reply to every comment that exists, but I do read the vast majority of them. Anyway, I digress. What I wanted to talk about while we're on the way back to the shop is how much this stuff costs. When I was doing all that work in the previous videos on that Exploder, everybody was going, and I get this a lot, you know, Ray, how much does this cost? Can you tell me what the bill was? Can you do a bill breakdown? Can you know, let us know your parts and labor matrix and all that stuff? And as much as I would like to publish that, at the end of the day, I find that to be somewhat private. Not because I'm scared of my pricing, because I believe I'm highly competitive. Not because I'm scared of markups, because that's the reality of things, and I don't need to try to act like that doesn't exist. But it's somebody else's money that we're talking about here. And I don't know how the majority of us would feel about it, but I can't say I'd be too thrilled if I went and bought some stuff and then some guy ran around and told everybody else, you know, how much I paid for that thing. Because that's a between one party and another party conversation. When you start including, you know, 50,000 other people into somebody else's pocketbook, I also find that to be somewhat distasteful. So I don't think it would be the greatest thing to discuss money, because it could be, it's just not the best move, I think. And I think we're all fine without worrying about how much stuff costs. Thanks, Dave. I do know that I do talk about parts and how much they cost and what we paid for certain kinds of things, but what I don't want to be doing is telling you guys how much the customer paid for a service. There's a lot of reasons baked into that, but I believe if we start going down that road, I'm opening the door for unnecessary scrutiny, and I'd really just rather not. So I've chosen, and I have chosen a long time ago, to not talk about how much people are spending on the car, with some exceptions, but I'm probably never going to share the bill, and I'm probably never going to tell you what the final work order cost was, because there's always going to be some guy in there going, oh, you could have done it for cheaper here, or oh, he ripped you off, or oh, you didn't charge enough. I don't want to have to listen to those kinds of comments, because that invites negativity into our world, and our worlds have enough negativity built into them as it is. We don't need to like compound it by adding more to the equation. So I choose to not do that. Pretty standard looking 4-liter in here, I'll tell you that. Ooh, look at those battery terminals. That's a Nissan thing. So anyway, I want to lift this up and see what they're talking about with that crankshaft case bolt thing. I want to see what that's all about. Okay, broken crankshaft case bolt. Let's take a look at it. Black subscribe button. Moving on up. All the way up. Yeah, one more click and I think we're good. All right, I think we're good right there. Let's set her on the lock. Multi-clicks. There we go. Okay, so I can spot a deficiency from all the way over here. We have damaged, smashed lug nuts. I wonder if this truck suffers from the swollen lug nut syndrome. And yep, sure does. Look at that one. That one's annihilated. Looks like somebody beat it on with a hammer. Yeah, not a huge deal, but it's you know, not the greatest. Especially when you're trying to fit your lug wrench on the side of the road and you can't because your nuts are swollen because you didn't take care of them. They got rusty. Yeah, it's never the greatest. Let's see. That's cute. Look at that. It's a replacement bolt that's almost hitting the sway bar. I wonder if that's going to run into it if you articulate the suspension enough. Perhaps it's done backwards. Yep. Looks like it's backwards. This one points that way. Oh look, new upper control arms. Okay, yeah, someone's been here. New ball joint right there, new tie rod. Okay, very good. New lower control arms. Bump stop looking, okay. Got a fluid leak here. Yep. Well, I don't think I can see the crankshaft. Crankshaft cage bolt. Don't know what that is. Maybe we can go in through here. Do that little guy. There's oil on everything. All right. Yeah, let's remove this skid panels shield thing up here. And maybe we can see. Yeah, okay. I need more extension. There's more through these holes right here. More of them in there. Last one in the front. Oily, yummy. Okay, so crankshaft cage bolt, that's what they said. Crankshaft pulley's right there, and if I look, let's put this up here. We look, we can kind of see that crank bolt. You see it right there? Yeah, there's no marks on that. That hasn't been touched for a while, so I don't know if that's the one or not. Hey, there's one. There's a bolt. Look, 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 look. See that right there? By the alternator? Yeah, that one's sticking out and that tensioner is not even bolted on. That's cool. Same thing with that alternator too. Look, see that alternator bolt? Upper right hand corner? That one is also sticking out and is not even engaging in the alternator. So this alternator is not even like bolted in all the way. That's cool. And the alternator is leaking. Okay. Yeah, that's not the best. the best. I try to say best and greatest at the same time. Broken motor mount right here. See that? That's very broken. Cool. This side, this is the compression side. See, the engine, when it produces torque, it's going to want to lift itself up and rock. So the driver's side is usually under tension and the passenger side is under compression. So whenever you think you've got a bad motor mount, it's usually going to be the driver's side, unless it's a Chevy Silverado or a Tahoe, in which case both sides blow up, because GM has engine mounts that are filled with liquid. Don't know why, but they do. It's just something else to fail, I suppose. Nothing more to see down here. One thing about this oil leak, this oil filter housing right here, is a big O-ring behind it that mounts it to its mating surface. Those O-rings will become compressed and flattened out, and then the back of this little dealio thing will leak oil. So you think it's the filter leaking, but it's actually the O-ring behind that. We're going to address that as well. I think I'm putting that on my estimate. So nothing to see here up front. It's got good ball joints, good tie rods, good upper control arms, all that good stuff. So that means that around back is going to be our next opportunity of inspection. So let's go down and see what else we got here. Looks like the tail shaft seal is leaking out of the transmission, so we'd have to remove the drive shaft and replace that tail shaft seal. Looks like the drive shaft's been out before, because this looks like a really fairly new U-joint. Someone may have put universals in there. Okay, moving back some more, spinning around. Yeah, there's an old U-joint. So they did one U-joint, the front one. Got it. Anything back here? Some RTV on the plug, some RTV around the gasket. That's fine, or on the cover. No fluids back here. I'm looking for axle seal leaks. That looks good. Okay. All right, so visually what we found is there's some kind of installation issue with the alternator and that pulley bracket that we saw. Let's let her down and check it off from the top side. Lock release, moving on up. Locks disengaged. Go and let it down. All right. Well, since we had an oil leaker, I guess it would be a good idea to check the oil. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a coolant leak too, isn't there? I do not smell coolant at this time. And that's full, that's good. Yeah, I'm not smelling any coolant. Okay. Okay, let's check the coolant. So we've got a cap on the radiator, and there's another cap over here on the surge tank. They're both pressure caps. So I think I will try to take the surge tank cap off first. It's a little warm. It's not scalding hot. Okay. Inside, I see coolant in there. I think it is a little low. I'm gonna reach over and squeeze the upper hose. Ha! It's hot. It's hot air fogging up the camera. I squeeze the hose. You guys get foggy. Okay, so what that tells me is that this upper hose is empty. There's no coolant in that hose. So now, I'm going to confirm that by visually confirming that. Yeah, a little bit of coolant right there at the top of the fins, which is below the top of the hose. So yeah, this hose is not full. We are low on engine coolant, so we shall need to pressure test this to discover the source of the leak. Put that on right now. Okay. Let's see. We need a belt. That belt is nasty. and it's worn, and I've seen cracks on the rib side of that belt. We already took a look at this. It could use some chemical cleaning, not a huge deal. Let's check power steering while we're standing here. That looks okay. Pretty typical for power steering hydraulic fluid. Not a huge concern. Okay, so we need to take off that tensioner down there, figure out why the bolt is sticking out of it, or maybe it's just loose, it needs to be put back in. But there's something going on with that alternator down there as well. So we need to get that sorted out. That's going on the list of things to take a look at. Let's see, we have some new ignition coils. That's cool. Someone's done the tune-up work on this bad boy. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. All right, well, let's bust out the scan tool and see what the DTCs tell us. All right, scanner powering on. Beep. Let's go ahead and get her plugged in. Plug it in, plug it in. There we go. Let's fire this unit up. Here. Beep. So hey, while the scan tool is powering up and going through and scanning everything, it said the hood was loose and to tighten the bolts. Okay. I'm not really sure what to make of this complaint list here. This hood is not loose and the bolts are tight. I mean, they've been removed before, but there's no bolts gonna fix. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how to address the loose bolt complaint because there are bolts, but they are not loose. What, am I missing something here? Yeah, I don't get it. Let's put a wrench on it and see. We've got our standard 13 millimeter, which is wrong. So we got our standard 12 millimeter. Yeah, that's not loose. I mean, sure. I don't get it. So if those bolts are that tight, then why don't you just tighten them up all the rest of the way? I'm not understanding this. I mean, you have the tool to take it off, I suppose, so stands to reason that the same tool puts it on. These really aren't that loose. I'm probably over torquing them. That's fine. $100 right there. See, told you, you're not supposed to talk about money. So anyway, we still have no ABS light. Let's go into engine and see what the service engine soon warning indicator is indicating. I'll go to codes. And oh, hey, there we go. P420, catalyst efficiency low, bank 1. P430, catalyst efficiency low, bank 2. P1564, ASCD, switch voltage signal out of range. I don't even know what ASCD is. That's probably a fluffy Mexicanic question. He knows more about these Chryslers of Japan than I do. And an evap, vent control, open circuit. So we got a couple things with looks like 3 different systems causing that check engine light. That means those have been showing up for a while. Let me go into ABS real quick. Into the brake control module, the electronic brake control module. See if there's any codes in there. Scanning. I don't know. I don't think so. You'd think that after a test drive the ABS light would have went off, but clearly it's not the case. There's a glare in there. Did you see that? There. Still taking its sweet time. Here we go. C1163 and C1143. Steering angle sensor circuit fault and another steering angle sensor circuit fault. So it looks like the circuits can fault in 2 different definitions, indicating the 2 different codes. So that needs to be diagnosed a little bit in depth. It probably just needs a steering angle sensor, but what do I know? So going back to our list here, loose steering. I mean, it's got brand new parts in the front end. Steering wheel is not loose. That alignment being all not right could have something to do with it, because this thing's driving at like a 45-degree angle. Maybe the tires are like really pointed away from each other or something, or camber caster angles just all jacked up. I don't know. We'll have to put it on the alignment machine, get some specs on that, and then take a look at what the numbers indicate. But as for being physically loose, probably not. Maybe all this is stuff that's already been fixed. No, because the amps are in the back. The hood's loose and needs bolted down. I don't get that. Crankshaft pulley case bolt wrong, stripped. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to call this guy up. And a starting issue. Yeah, none of these things have presented themselves thus far. Nope, it still starts. All right, well, I think I've got enough to make the call to diagnose the car. I'm probably gonna use this video as a sales tool as well. Stop it. But that being said, I think I'm all done here. Like I said, it was getting late in the day anyway. It's already 5:30. We're on some overtime action right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Again, my apologies for having made such a horrible follow-up video after I horribly ruined that Ford Explorer video. I'm gonna try. I'm trying here. It's my first day. It's my first day, guys. Give me a break. So I'm gonna try. No, I will not try. I will get this technical difficulty problem sorted out as soon as possible, like right now, and then we're gonna get back to normal. So again, having said that, I think I'm all done here. We're closing it up. We need to go home and close the shop. I need some food. Didn't eat lunch today. And Troy's cleaning up his tools. Yay. Say hi, Troy. Yo. What's good, man? Hello. Troy's back. All right, fellas. We got enough going here. We're all done. I'm shutting this down. We're closing it up. So here's what we're going to do. I got work on this thing this week. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, what you would like to see happen on this particular truck. I'm curious to see what's up with those bolts that are sticking out of the front of the block. I wonder why that's there. So we're probably definitely going to do the oil leak. I'll make a video about that. While we're in there, we'll probably take a look at those two bolts and see what's up with that. And then I'll probably put it on the alignment machine. Actually, it is on the alignment machine, but we'll hook the machine up to the car and see what's up with those steering angle numbers, and maybe use that as a determination to figure out whether or not the loose steering situation is caused by a misalignment. Furthermore, I saw witness marks on the tie rods, which means somebody adjusted those, the inners at least. Maybe they didn't do an alignment on this. Maybe they threw parts on it and sent it, for all I know. But it needs a wheel alignment regardless. So we're going to cross all those bridges after I talk to the customer. That being said, and one more time, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm sorry for the crappy video. We're not going to do this anymore. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Into transmission.